Begin.
Oh, my clapperboard hasn't arrived yet. Still hasn't arrived, Holly.
It should do soon. It's your fucking postal system in Ireland. Shocking.
It's our post boy. He's not here again.
No, he's not. He's too
Oh,
busy
moving
packing.
house.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to carry a few boxes?
Yes, he hasn't even got a lot of stuff. He's not moving from one home to another. He's moving from his parents' house to his own home.
And he's got deliveries coming.
Yeah, so he's got his clothes to pack, and that's about it, really.
Sometimes it's really difficult waiting for someone to deliver something, isn't it?
Maybe he's like me and can't put a fucking dog bowl stand together by himself. Maybe that's
here's the thing, right? You're using a steak knife to put in a screw. I mean, never mind, it's not the right tool for the job, and you quite likely damage the screw or damage a steak knife. I can just see you slipping and severing your arm or something.
It's a blunt knife, Dad. It's not a sharp kitchen knife. It's a steak knife.
But I can just see it happening. I mean, I know, look, I've been your dad for 23 years, right? I've seen you can't even use a treadmill safely.
I was like 3 years old. What do you expect?
You were about 8. No, maybe a bit younger than that.
Okay.
But anyway, whatever. You can't use a treadmill safely. You're a disaster. And now you're putting in screws with the steak knife.
What would you do in the situation then if you didn't have a screwdriver?
Buy a screwdriver.
No, but right, picture this, okay? You're autistic, right?
Yes, I am autistic.
And you get a package you're waiting for a week, and you think, great, I'll open it and put it together. It's supposed to come with a screwdriver. It says in the instructions to come with a screwdriver. Obviously, it hasn't. So you unpack it, you get it all ready, and you think, I'll put this together now. No screwdriver. You don't own a car, so you can't just go and buy a screwdriver for 10 minutes down the road in your car. You've got to walk half an hour to go and get one. What would you do?
I'd walk half an hour to go and get a screwdriver. Or first, I would make sure, I'd look through the packaging very carefully and make sure there wasn't actually a screwdriver there, because it might not look like a screwdriver. It might look like an Allen key.
There isn't anything. There was screws. There was small plastic things at the bottom. There was the wood, and that was it.
I bet you're going to come back in about 2 days and say, Dad, there was a screwdriver in there.
What I might do is take the packaging box apart. Maybe it's hidden somewhere in there.
Could be.
Anyway, it's bugging me. It's completely bugging me.
This is what happens when you buy cheap, though, isn't it?
It's not cheap. It was actually very expensive. £30 for a wooden fucking dog bowl stand.
You get another dog for that.
No, you couldn't.
Well, we could around here. They give them away for free. I actually paid. I paid €50 for haggis.
50 euros.
They were going to give them away. They were going to give them away for free at the farm, but I wanted to teach the boys a lesson in business. You don't give things away for free.
€50 for a purebred. That's
Jack Russell. Yeah, and he is. He's a top quality Parsons Jack Russell.
They go for thousands sometimes, especially during lockdown. There are a lot of pedigree dogs. They aren't even kennel club registered, so high quality registered, going for 5,000.
I mean, he wouldn't have gone for thousands, but he's a thoroughbred. He would go for hundreds. Remember Roy?
Yeah.
Roy cost over €1,000 15 years ago. He's dead now, so he went to get money back, but they won't give us the money back. He's dead. You know. and Doris, she's a collie. Now she'd be worth, if she was trained, she'd be worth a lot of money. The most expensive collie is just gone. It's like €20,000.
Wow.
I think it was perhaps more. It was a collie bitch. It was a few weeks ago. You could Google it, you'll see. But yeah, the working dogs around here are worth a lot of money. But haggis, they wanted to give them away. So I insisted on paying these 2 boys, because the woman had basically put the kids in charge of the selling the dogs, getting rid of the dogs. And I want to give my friends now €50, 25 each. Apart from anything else, giving dogs away is a bad idea, because they often get picked up for abuse, you know, because they're free.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I still when I still cycle past the house. I haven't seen Mum and Dad for a while, but I see his Mum and Dad.
Oh, that's cute.
His mum's one of these little fat Jack Russells, like a little black pudding with legs.
Oh, that's cute.
And the dad's like haggis, quite tall and leggy, long suffering. But yeah, discounting, giving discounts and working for free is fucking stupid. Here's the thing: people will say things like, I have to sell at a low price. My clients won't let me put the prices up. Whose business fucking is it? Yours or theirs? All my competitors, competition always work cheap. they make me drop my prices. No, they don't. Cutting your price is always a self-inflicted wound, and it's often fucking fatal. Because there's this idea, someone actually said it in Foundations, I'm hoping to keep the prices low and make up for it with volume. That never works. Because all that happens is you're just working fucking harder for less money. And all your competitors, well, they will then also drop their prices. So everyone's working for less money. And you can't even serve the client as well. Yeah, only you cut your prices. And here's how bad it is, right? If you imagine you're working on 35% markup, I mean, the actual calculation is a bit more involved in this because you've got fixed and variable costs. But let's just say you're in a business and on average, you do a job for 13, or you do a job, it costs you £1,000 to do the job. So labour, materials, insurance, keeping the lights going, fixed variable costs, £1,000. And you sell it at 1,350. So you've got a 35% markup. If you cut your prices by just 10% to keep the client happy, your profit decreases by 38.6% or something like that, nearly 40%. You're giving away not far off half your profit. You're giving it away on just a 10% discount because you want to keep the client happy. The thing is, the client doesn't really give a shit. You've got a client who's that bothered by a 10% cut, you really need different clients. On the other hand, if you increase your prices by 10%, so instead of it being 1,350, it's like 1,400 something, yeah? You increase it by 10%, an extra £135 basically. You increase your profits by 40%. So you're not far off doubling adding half as much again to your profits just by adding a 10% increase that no one actually cares about. One of the first things I tell everyone who joins Foundations is just increase your prices by 10%. That will more than pay for your membership. I mean, that's how stupid it is. I don't understand why we haven't got people banging the door down to join us, because I can make your membership free overnight. Just increase your prices by 10%. And there's so much more we can do to make your prices a multiple of what they are now. My QS client, his prices are 312% higher than what they were when he joined me. And he does jobs in the thousands. So he'll now be doing a job for say £3,000, which would have done for £1,000 before. He's making money hand over fist from it. He was getting twice London rates in Liverpool. Not that long ago, about a year ago, just before lockdown. Yeah, he was getting double London rates, which are really high, in Liverpool, which is a shithole. Sorry if you're a Scouser and you're listening to this, but all cities are shitholes. So I'm not singling Liverpool out, all right? So don't give me any fucking shit about that.
I mean, a lot of people,
and all that's on the price.
A lot of people won't raise their prices because they're scared what people will think of them.
They're scared of losing business. It doesn't happen. I mean, people increase their prices. You might lose the odd person, but you just don't. People, if you're doing, unless you're going out of your way to attract the chavvy buyers who are genuinely buying on price, you just don't lose any business. And what you'll often find is, if you increase your prices, you actually find it easier to sell. I remember a few years, well, going back about 15 years now, there was a franchise, a web franchise. I think it was the Best of, and it was like Best of Leicester, Best of Ipswich, Best of whatever. And the franchise at the time was about £5,000, and they couldn't sell them. They put their prices up to £50,000, and they couldn't sell them quickly enough. People were just snapping them up because if it's a lot of money, it must be good. It's not always true. I'm not making any comments on the Best of there. I don't know. What I'm saying is, it is a non sequitur to think something is more expensive, therefore is much better. But that's what people think. If I tell you I can fucking give you the keys to the kingdom, solve all your problems, and I'm only going to charge you a £5, you won't believe me. If I charge you 10k, you might think there's something in it. It just makes, it's what we believe. Now, here's the thing. No one actually buys on price. I mean, there's maybe 3 people in the entire history of the world who bought on price. There's Ebenezer Scrooge. There's probably the random bloke in the street you might see, and then there was my dad. Well, my Ebenezer Scrooge doesn't exist, and my dad's dead now. So there's probably one person now in the world still wandering around buying on price. No one else really is. I mean, that's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's fucking true. We all buy on value. They might tell you it's all about the price, but it actually never is. And one of the things in construction is, and they see it all the time, it's no one ever seems to fucking learn, is they'll get someone to do it cheap. They fuck the job up, can't finish it, go bust, or just do a shit job anyway. Then end up paying again a higher price to get it done properly. And it's almost a cliche, but still they continue to do it. Now, that can only happen because people are willing to do it cheap. They say, yeah, let's do it cheap. You even see people saying, no, we won't be beaten on price. We'll always do the cheapest job. And they do, that is their USP. That's their unique selling proposition. You know,
I was looking for a handyman to come and do put something.
I bet you were.
Shut up. And when I was looking online, there were a lot of them that were saying for first-time buyers, you'd get it free or you get a huge discount, like 40% off or something. And I thought, so if I want to get one picture just hang on the wall, for example, by a handyman, I could get that done for maybe what, £5, a tenner, and never go back to him. Yeah. So not only has he just lost out on making a profit there, but he's also lost out on a long-term customer because everyone else is giving me the same job first time for bloody discount.
Yeah, you just do the rounds of cheap people who do it. Oh no, it doesn't make any sense at all. We've got a handyman here, and you know, I unashamedly admit I'm shit at DIY, and not only that, but I don't have the time. So he comes up here and he charges €20 an hour, and no call out charge. So for €20 an hour, Sarah couldn't believe it. Oh God, we had him doing all sorts of pictures, fucking shelves up, put my punch bag up, you know. All this stuff for 20 years, it's basically free. You get it for €100 for a day almost, you know, 5 hours. And because he's a professional, what would take me an hour, he can do in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. And if he'd charged us €100 an hour, I'd have still paid it. I had no idea what a handyman costs. €20 an hour, fine. €100 an hour, fine. If he'd have said like €500, I might have thought, well, that's ridiculous. It's not worth that to me. No. But it's worth €500 for a day's work if he's going to come and do all this shit for me that I don't have to do. Just to shut Sarah up, fucking hell. Well, will you hang this picture for me? Look, you told me that. You asked me 6 months ago. Don't keep going on about it. It's ridiculous. No one fucking buys on price. They all buy on value. They'll buy on what it's worth to them. And, you know, your value changes from time to time, person to person. Like right now, I haven't the thought of going to a dentist. I wouldn't pay a dentist anything. I don't need a dentist. But if I cracked a tooth this evening, you can bet your life I'd pay whatever it took to get a dentist. When I went to get my eyes done, I was going to think about having laser surgery. It's €900 per eye. And I thought that's about the same cost of a new pair of glasses or lenses. So it's about the same. But when I went up there, they said, you're right at the limits of what we can achieve. You know, you'd be okay for a couple of 3 years, maybe 5, but then you'll need glasses anyway. And there's another problem. What's that? You've got cataracts coming. Now, I'm no ophthalmologist, but I know what cataracts means. It means you're going fucking blind. So I spent, okay, so what do we do about that? Well, we can replace the lenses in your eyes. Okay, let's do that then. Didn't think about the price. It was €8,000 surgery and the hospital stay. It was the same when I paid for Sarah to have it done. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I said, you know, this was October. It's October 2017, I think it was, or 18. Okay, so when can you do it? Christmas. Well, I'll tell you, I'll pay you more if you do it now or in the next, you know, tomorrow. No, we don't do that. How fucking stupid can you get? I was offering them free money. I'll pay twice, pay double. But at that point, when I realised it meant going blind, only slowly to be sure, but that's the inevitable conclusion. And they only charged me £8K. I wasn't thinking about trying to shop around and go somewhere cheaper. I wanted to pay them more to do it quicker.
Well, you shop around cheaper for your eyes. You'll go bloody blind anyway.
Yeah, I could sit in there slowly going blind, looking for something. My dad would have done. My dad would have probably tried to do it himself, you know.
Oh God, imagine that.
But and also, there's also another myth about how much you charge should somehow be tied to how much work is involved. I spent 2 mornings in the hospital as an outpatient, right? And I do one eye one day, the next eye the next day. Most of that time is, say I was there from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock, so 4 hours, right? 3.5 of those hours Well, probably 3.25 of those hours was spent sitting around waiting, because there was 7 or 8 of us in the ward, and they do it on like a production line, right?
Yeah.
The remaining 45 minutes, I went in for a 10-minute examination just to make sure I was okay to have the operation that day. And the next thing they did was they took me in and they gave me a sedative, which I didn't even want, but they said that just proceed. And the actual operation took about 15 minutes on each arm. So it was 8K basically for 2 lots of 15 minutes work and a couple of examinations and a bit of an injection. That was it. And sitting around in hospital. You don't get paid for how long you spend doing the job. You get paid for the value. And now, 3 years later, I've got better than 20/20 vision, both eyes near and far, and it will remain that way until I die.
I wonder if I'll get cataracts when I'm older then.
Possibly, because it is genetic. My mum got them. Don't know about that.
Thanks for that. So first is the autism, then it's the bloody cataracts.
What do you want me to say?
And the chin.
If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here at all.
No, true. I wouldn't know that though, would I? But
well, that's true. That's true.
Anyway.
And it could have been worse, you could have inherited more from your mother than from me.
God, can you imagine that?
I can, yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't, to be honest. Living with her for most of my life, while you fucked off with your wife to Ireland.
I tried my best to get away from you, darling, but it just didn't work, did it?
I'm working with you.
Well, I think a lot of it, one is down to you and the others kind of realising this is how mum is and we don't want to be like that. Bit of objectivity. But also, you had a damn good stepdaddy, Martin.
Yeah, that's true.
Mostly, he did a good job. I can't fault him on that. And he did me the immense favour of running off with my wife.
That's true.
I said to him, you've got no fucking idea what you're doing, have you, really? He said, oh, you're just being jealous there. I said, I'm not used to. I remember a few years later, he said, you know what, John, I remember you said that, and you were dead right. Absolutely.
It's almost like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's almost like I know what I'm talking about, yeah. So, so he did a good job. He did a particularly good job with Alfie as well.
Yeah, he did.
Because you and Rosie were a bit older and already quite close to me, but he did a good job with Alfie. So, yeah, big thank you.
Anyway, we're digressing.
He took my wife and looked after my kid. Yeah. So anyway, people buy on value always. And really your job then is dead simple. If you forget about the price, stop thinking about the low price. Start thinking, how can I demonstrate the value of this? Your job gets a lot easier. That's hard work. It means thinking about the pain your customer and your client's feeling and how do you get out of it. But it's once you start thinking about price, you're on a fucking loser.
Because a lot of the time you will, as a business owner, you will notice that buyers do tell you that one big lie about your prices.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's that then, Dad?
I can get the same thing cheaper down the road. And when they say that, the natural reaction is people will drop their price. Well, how much is it down the road? Then we can do it for the same. We'll match their price. But there's a problem. If you stop to think about it logically, if they could get the same thing down the road for less, and it was, the same thing down the road for less, and the price is important to them, if those things are both true, why are they not down the road getting it for less? There's some reason they're still in your office, your showroom, on your phone, and there's a reason they're still on there talking to you and not down the road getting it for less. If they could genuinely do it, and it was genuinely important to them, they'd be doing it. So why are they still talking to you? Well, how about this? It's not the same thing at all. Okay, it looks the same, but it's not. It's a cheap version. It's got inferior build quality. Maybe there's less of a guarantee on it. Maybe it's broken. Maybe it's secondhand. I don't know. But if it was the same thing, why are they not down there buying it? So it's not the same thing at all. It might be similar, but not the same thing. Often what I mean is I want your service, I want your quality and your products, but I want the other guy's price. That's often what they actually mean. Okay? So if it's the same thing, why aren't you doing it? Second thing is maybe they can't get it down the road. Maybe the guy down the road does sell it for the same price when he's got it, but he's not got it. And it's easy to sell an expensive product cheap if you don't actually have to have it, if you don't actually have it in your showroom, so you don't have to deliver on your low price promise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I could sell you a Rolls. I'd sell you a Rolls for 10K, but I don't have any at the moment. That's easy. Anyone could say that, you know? So maybe it's not the same thing at all. They actually can't because they don't have it. Maybe they don't want to go down the road. Maybe the guy down the road, they don't like him because he's a dickhead, he's rude and obnoxious. Or it's too far to walk and it's raining.
Yep.
Or maybe, yeah, the guy does have it and it's cheaper and it's exactly the same, but he can't deliver it until next week and he wants it now.
That's a lot.
He's holding everything up, or he needs a screwdriver now to do the dog bowl. Doesn't want to sit in there not done, you know.
That's
or maybe, go on, sorry.
That's a lot of things people want. Is they want it now. They don't want to wait 2 weeks for it.
Yeah, they'll pay for timely delivery. They'll pay for convenience. Maybe they can get it from down the road. Maybe they can deliver it tomorrow. But maybe they've got to pay for delivery.
Yeah.
You can't just pop it in his car. Maybe they don't deliver. Maybe you deliver and they don't. You can get the same thing down the road, but my car ain't big enough to carry it. You deliver, he doesn't. Yeah, there's loads of things it could be. Or maybe they're not allowed to. Maybe the guy down the road has been shagging his wife, so maybe the guy down the road, his wife invited them to a dinner party and was rude to your buyer's wife. So he's not allowed to. His wife won't let him buy from down the road because you're not doing business with that man if his wife was rude to him. Maybe your boss won't let you, your buyer's boss won't let him buy from this person because they pissed him off. Maybe it's a tender thing. Maybe there are other legal problems. Maybe the guy down the road wants cash and you offer credit. Yeah. And your boss won't let you pay the cash. Now, there's loads of different things. The fact remains, though, whatever it is, if they are not down the road buying exactly the same thing for a lower price, and that's all important to them, they're lying to you. Whatever that lie is, isn't the point. I mean, you might want to ask them what it is. But my response, people don't come to me and say, get the same thing down the road, but they used to come to me and say, we've got a copywriting project. I'm speaking to 2 other copywriters, so make sure your price is realistic. What they mean by that is, we want you to sell on price. And I would always say, I'll tell you what, you go away and deal with those 2 guys or girls, and you come back when they're shit, and then we'll perhaps talk about me. I don't sell on price. I don't get involved in these things. Yeah? You're either talking to me or you're not talking to me. I don't play that game. And that itself was a very powerful positioning thing. And that often they come back and say, yeah, well, we listened to what you said, and we decided we just want to talk to you. Fine.
I remember when I was going to get my iPad, I just bought it up front. And I went around a few shops in town, and there was one I went into. They didn't have it there. And the guy said, I'll get it for you in 3 weeks' time. And I said, no, I want it now. I don't want to wait 3 weeks for it. So I went somewhere else where it was a bit more, I think it was like 50 quid more expensive, but I can get it there and then. I did that instead.
Yeah.
It may be more expensive, but I didn't want to wait 3 weeks for it.
Exactly. It's easy to sell things 50 quid cheaper when you haven't got one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or conversely, you were paying more for convenience. The convenience of having it right fucking now.
Yeah, when I want it.
That's a very autistic trait, by the way.
Well, you even look at Amazon Prime, for example. You pay $7.99 per month, and even if you don't use it for that month, you still pay it. But then you get it the next day.
Yeah,
or you could be cheap and not pay it. You don't get it until like 2 weeks down the line, and you still pay delivery on top of it.
Yeah, I get a double whammy with Amazon over here in Ireland, because not only is it actually cheaper to send, but I get it quicker too. Because I get free delivery for lots of things, which would normally cost me 7 or 8 quid. Cool. Most months, I only have to buy one thing from Amazon, and Amazon Prime is paid for itself. Never mind all the other benefits.
Yeah, Amazon Prime, good. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're not selling Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime is brilliant. I mean, people piss and moan about Amazon, but I think most people use it because it's just, it's revolutionized my Christmas shopping.
It's so convenient.
I bought everything.
Yeah.
None of this fucking walking around shops going, what the fuck can I buy in this time?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
You've got all your preferences there and then. You can save things for later in your basket. And you get it next day. Sometimes even the same day.
It's so easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. Just click. I don't. We don't have sand over here. I mean, I'm not saying you can't get it in Dublin. Maybe you can, but you can't get it where we are. But there is next day.
I think
I
there's
think you may pay more for next day, but even with Prime. But I've had next day delivery here, and it's not expensive. But even if it was, if you want it next day, like I bought something the day before Sarah's birthday that she wanted, so it really had to be here the next day. It didn't matter. I mean, the delivery was actually more than the thing itself. It didn't matter. Mrs. EB, do you want? It was a food mixer as it happens. But,
okay.
yeah. One does not simply not buy Mrs. EBG what she wants for her birthday.
No, that's true. Not
Oh yeah, I mean this low price. I mean we're going to do a few podcasts on low price because as you know, I did an entire 90-minute presentation that stretched nearly 3 hours the other day. I've done entire full day events on pricing, and even that wasn't enough. You know, I could probably write an entire very thick book on pricing alone. And then when you start getting into positioning too, and the two go hand in hand and one begets the other. Again, you mean I've probably got a dozen hours video of 2 events, and I barely scratched the surface. It's really interesting subject, but I think it is. But most people don't find it sexy. They want the latest. Yeah, but how can they get loads of likes and engagement? I don't know. I don't care either. I actually saw. Oh, fuck, I'm not making this up. I swear I'm making this up. I saw someone who's a self-proclaimed LinkedIn expert. She was actually posting. I took this quiz. It turned out I'm a potato. What kind of vegetable are you? Put it in the comments. She's selling that kind of shit. I will teach you how to get engagement by asking people what kind of fucking vegetable you are. I was aghast. And people are obviously paying her for this shit. How stupid can you be? What kind of potato are you, Holly?
I love tap potato.
Honestly, it's unreal. But anyway, so that's an intro for pricing and why we're doing it. You make more money, less work, less headaches. Easiest way to increase your cash flow and profits is just put your fucking prices up by 10%. Do it today, and then in a couple of 3 weeks, when you realize you've not lost any business, do it again. Keep doing it until you start getting price resistance. Now, I can tell you a way to overcome that, but if you don't like resistance and you don't want to overcome the objection, then all you do is just drop your price to the point where you're not getting resistance and you're still making far more money than you're making now. If you want to push the envelope and really go to town, well, that's when we need to talk, because there's loads of shit you can do. But I'm not telling you how to do that for free.
Got to join foundations for that.
Got to join foundations for that, yeah. So, 1 minute hate, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. I will get my timer ready.
Well, today we're going to go into a bit of Latin. It's people who conflate and confuse correlation with causality. And the Latin phrase was cum hoc ergo propter hoc, which means with this, therefore because of this. So you get 2 things happen at the same time, and they'll say, well, this happened, so therefore this was the cause, with no evidence whatsoever.
Right. Anyway, we'll start a timer, and then you can go on it.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, cum fucking hoc ergo propter hoc, with this, therefore because of this. People are fucking stupid, and they will take 2 things completely unrelated, and because there's a correlation, they will assume that because they did one thing, that was the cause. This is why we have people who believe in alternative medicine. There is no such fucking thing as alternative medicine, okay? There is something that works to heal you and make you better, and there are things that are not. If it works to make you fucking better, it's medicine. It's not alternative, it's just fucking medicine. But stupid people believe in this fucking, or they don't understand the difference between causality and correlation. So somebody's ill, they've got a cold, they take some random fucking thing from up some Himalayan llama's asshole, and then they get better, like everybody fucking does after a cold, and then go, oh, I got better after this cold, therefore sucking on a llama's asshole made me better. That is the difference between causality and correlation. There is no causal link between sucking on a llama's asshole and you feeling better.
Good timing.
Good timing, that's why I stopped. Honestly, these people are so stupid though. And you see, I'm amazed they're allowed to sell some of this shit on Instagram and Facebook. Fucking anything. Anytime anyone talks about detox, I want to shoot them. Like, you have a liver, you have kidneys, and you have bowels, and you shit, and you piss, and you breathe in and out. That's how you do your detoxing. If you need a detox, you'd be dead already. If your liver and kidneys and bowels weren't working, you'd be dead already. You don't need a fucking detox. There's no such thing.
Your 1 minute haze ended, Dad. You can stop the
My 1 minute hate is existential, darling. All right, cool. So let's wrap it up. It's been a long week, hasn't it? Because they'll be watching this on Monday, but we record it on Friday. So if you want to make, excuse me, oh shit, COVID. Have you heard of that boy band?
What boy band?
Boy band, COVID-19, with their hit single, I Can't Breathe. Very poor taste. You know Dev, don't you, mate, Dev?
Yeah, I know Dev.
He nearly died of COVID, seriously.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Oh, did I tell you that, did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you kept us updated, which is good.
Yeah, he's getting, he's got the after effects now. He can close, he can go.
Nasty.
He did videos on LinkedIn. He was really bad. It was fucking scary, really. And there are still people outside hospitals accusing doctors of genocide and a scam. And they've just spent 12 to 18 hours watching people fucking die one after the other.
I know. It's horrific, isn't it, really?
I would like to machine them, the fucking a lot of them. Anyway, not the doctors, the protesters. Anyway, yeah, if you want to make more money with less work, less hassle, and fewer headaches by attracting better clients, selling at higher prices, which will actually attract the better clients, and have all this happen with a pipeline turgid and moist, filled on autopilot, behind the scenes and hands off, then go to ottcollective.co.uk and join the Facebook group, or get our one-on-one help and foundation by emailing Holly and seeing if you're a fit for us. Okay, but I'm telling you now, we focus a lot on prices, increasing your prices and attracting premium clients. If that's something you don't want to do, you feel you can't do, or you'll feel uncomfortable doing, don't bother us because we're not interested. So in the meantime, stay safe, stay inside, wash your hands, do not conflate and confuse causality with correlation, and do not shit on your fingers. See you later. Ta-da.